My hands won't stop shaking. I'm sitting in Dr. Min's waiting room in Gangnam, Seoul, surrounded by pregnant women rubbing their bellies like they're cradling the most precious thing in the world. They look happy, glowing. Everything I'm not supposed to feel right now. I came here because I've been so tired lately. Nauseous in the mornings. I figured it was stress from work. Maybe my body was finally breaking under the weight of pretending to be someone I'm not. But it definitely wasn't this. The nurse calls my name. Amma. I stand up slowly, my legs feeling weak. I've been to this clinic 3 times a year for the past 3 years. Regular checkups, the same routine. But today feels different. Today feels like everything is about to change. Before we dive into this story, tell us where in the world you're watching from, and what time it is right now. Someone near you might be watching too. And don't forget to subscribe to support and appreciate the work we do on this channel. Dr. Min is kind. She has this gentle way about her that makes you feel safe, even when you're terrified. She's Korean, maybe in her 50s, and she treats me like I'm more than just the contract wife of a rich man. She treats me like I matter. Let's see how you're doing, she says, squeezing the cold gel onto my still flat stomach. The ultrasound wand moves across my skin. I'm staring at the ceiling, counting the tiles like I always do. 1, 2, 3, 4. Congratulations, Dr. Min says. Her voice is different now. Softer. More careful. I turn my head to look at her. Congratulations for what? She's smiling at the screen, then at me. You're pregnant, Amma. The room stops spinning. Actually, no, it spins faster. I'm what? Pregnant, she repeats gently. About 8 weeks along. My mouth goes dry. The pills. I've been taking the pills every single day. Junho, he made sure of it. Every morning before work, every night before bed. It was part of the deal. Part of the contract. No babies. That was the rule. But I've been taking the contraception. I whisper. I never missed a day. Dr. Min's expression softens with understanding. Sometimes these things happen. The body has its own plans. I almost laugh. Almost. But then she says something that makes my entire body go cold. Actually, there's more. More. How can there be more? She points to the screen, and suddenly I see them. 2 tiny dots. 2 heartbeats. Pulsing. Alive. Real. You're having twins, Amma. I can't remember leaving the clinic. I can't remember driving. But somehow I'm in my car, parked on a quiet street in Seoul, and I'm just breathing. Twins. Not 1 baby. 2. My hands are on my steering wheel, and I keep staring at the ultrasound picture Dr. Min gave me. 2 perfect little dots that represent my entire life falling apart. The contract. Clause 6. I've read it so many times I could recite it in my sleep. Regular contraception required. No pregnancies permitted under any circumstances. Breach of this clause results in immediate termination of marriage and loss of all financial support. Asterisk. I signed that. I agreed to it. Because I was desperate. Because I was in love with a man who didn't love me back. Because I would have agreed to anything just to be near him. And now I'm carrying his children. The city lights of Seoul twinkle around me like they don't know my world is ending. Like 200,000 people aren't living their lives while mine is imploding. What am I going to do? When I finally drive home, the penthouse is empty. It always is at this hour. Junho is at the office. Or maybe he's somewhere else. Somewhere with her. I stand in the middle of our glass and steel modern apartment, running my hand across my stomach. There's nothing to feel yet. No bump. No evidence. But they're there. Our babies. His babies. I pull out my phone to call him, then stop. How do I tell him this? How do I tell him that everything he was afraid of, everything he made me promise not to do, I'm doing it. Not on purpose. Not by choice. But it's happening anyway. I sit on the couch in the darkness, the ultrasound picture clutched in my hands. And I cry. I don't know what's going to happen when Junho finds out. I don't know if he'll forgive me. I don't even know if these babies have any right to exist in a marriage built on a lie. But what I do know is this. Everything changes tonight. Where are you watching from right now? Drop your location in the comments. I want to know if there's anyone out there who understands what it feels like to want something so badly that you'd break every rule just to have it. Asterisk asterisk. If you've ever felt trapped between love and survival, between who you are and who you're supposed to be, you need to stay with Amma, because her journey is about to get so much deeper than just a pregnancy. Asterisk asterisk. The real twist? It's not just about the babies. There's something about Junho that Amma doesn't know. Something that will change everything when she discovers it. Asterisk asterisk. Subscribe now and hit that notification bell. Don't miss the moment Amma's entire world breaks open. This story will make you question everything you thought you knew about love, family, and what you're willing to sacrifice to belong. Asterisk asterisk. What happens when Junho comes home? Let's find out together. Asterisk asterisk. I'm still on the couch when I hear the garage door opening. It's 9 p.m. Junho is home early. My heart starts racing. I'm holding the ultrasound picture like it's evidence of a crime I committed. I need to tell him. I have to tell him. But the words are stuck somewhere deep in my chest, and I don't know if they'll ever come out. He comes into the living room, loosening his tie. He doesn't even look at me. I'm getting a shower, he says. Just like that. No, how was your day? No kiss. No acknowledgement that I exist. I watch him walk toward the bedroom, and I almost call out, Junho, we need to talk. But before I can say anything, his phone buzzes on the glass coffee table. A text message lights up the screen. I miss you, babe. Come see me on Thursday. The name attached to it makes my entire body go cold. Taylor. No, not Taylor. That's the name she uses sometimes. My brain is scrambling, trying to make sense of what I'm seeing. But I know exactly who it is. I've always known. Minji. I'm 15 again. My mother is in the hospital, and my father is acting like nothing is wrong. He's quiet, distant, like he's already moved on to something else. Someone else. A week after we bury her, he brings them home. A new wife. A stepdaughter. A replacement family. Minji walks into our house like she owns it. She's 13, with perfect Korean skin and perfect Korean manners in public. But when my father isn't looking, she smiles at me like I'm trash. Your mom was so sad all the time, she tells me at school, loud enough for everyone to hear. Maybe she was sick because you were a disappointment. I never told my father what she said. Within days, he's packed away my mother's things. Her clothes. Her books. Her photographs. All of it goes to the attic like she was just a guest who overstayed her welcome. Within weeks, the house is redecorated. New furniture. New colors. New family photos on the walls. In every single one, my father has his arm around Minji's mother. In none of them am I smiling. I became invisible in my own home. And now, 20 years later, I'm invisible in my marriage too. The shower water is running. Junho is in the other room, probably thinking about her. Planning their Thursday. I pick up his phone with shaking hands. There are hundreds of messages. Hundreds. Going back months. Years maybe. I scroll through them like someone possessed. I can't stop thinking about you. My life is so empty without you. When are we going to stop pretending? And his responses, God, his responses. They're filled with promises and apologies and words I've never heard him say to me. I love you. I've always loved you. That one hits me like a punch. I've been waiting 3 years to hear those words from him. 3 years of being the perfect wife. The silent wife. The wife who didn't ask questions and didn't want more. And he's been saying them to someone else the whole time. Minji. The company is named KH Enterprises. Junho and her. Their initials. Their love story, branded across every building in Seoul. A daily reminder that I'm not the one he chose. I'm just the contract he signed. When Junho comes out of the shower, he finds me sitting in the dark. The ultrasound picture is on the table in front of me. His phone is in my hand. He sees it, and I watch his face change. First confusion. Then anger. Then something worse. Nothing at all. What are you doing with my phone? His voice is ice. Who is she? I ask. Even though I already know. He walks over slowly, like I'm a wild animal he's trying not to spook. He takes the phone from my hand without answering. Minji, I say the name myself. It tastes like poison. You named your company after you and her. Don't. His voice is sharp. Don't say her name. Why? Because it hurts? Because it reminds you that you married the wrong sister? He doesn't deny it. He just looks at me, and in that moment I see the truth. I've always known it, but I see it now. Clear. Brutal. Final. I was never the one he wanted. I was the one he could control. In that second of silence, I realize something that changes everything. I'm carrying his twins. 2 babies who don't deserve to be born into this lie. And I'm still, after all this pain, all this humiliation, thinking about how to make it better for him. But what about me? What about what I deserve? If you've ever stayed in a situation because you loved someone more than you loved yourself, this is for you. Drop a comment and tell me. Have you ever realized too late that you were invisible to the person you made visible to yourself? Because Ifeoma's about to make a choice that will shock everyone, including Junho, the man she's been waiting for. He's been waiting for someone else, and Ifeoma is done waiting. Subscribe right now because what happens in the next 24 hours will change Ifeoma's life forever. She's about to discover that sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is walk away. What does she do when she tells Junho about the twins? What happens when he realizes he's about to lose everything? Stay with us. I didn't sleep last night. I came to work anyway, because that's what I do. I show up. I do my job. I pretend everything is fine even when my world is falling apart. Even when I'm carrying twins in a marriage that's already dead. Linda hands me 2 cups of coffee when I arrive. He asked for these, she says quietly. I can see pity in her eyes. She knows. Everyone knows. 2 cups. 1 for him. 1 for her. Before I can even process it, I see her sitting on Junho's desk like she owns it. Minji. She's wearing a red dress that probably costs more than my monthly salary. Her hair is perfect. Her makeup is perfect. Everything about her screams I belong here while I'm standing in the doorway, still in my work clothes, with dark circles under my eyes. Oh, look who it is, Minji says, her voice dripping with fake sweetness. How nice to see you, Mia. She called me the wrong name on purpose. That's how much she respects me. I set the coffees down on Junho's desk without saying a word. My hands are shaking, and I'm trying so hard to keep it together. That's not how I like my coffee, Minji says, picking up a cup. She takes a sip and makes a face. Too much sugar. Be a dear and get me another one. I feel something crack inside my chest. I didn't make the coffee, Miss Matthews, I say, keeping my voice steady. You should ask the coffee shop what you want next time. Junho doesn't even look up from his computer. Minji laughs like I just told the funniest joke in the world. Oh, Kyle, isn't she adorable? So defensive over a cup of coffee. She said his name like she owns that too. Actually, Ifeoma. Minji stands up and smooths her dress. Could you show me to the ladies' room? This building is so confusing. I know it's a trap. But with Junho sitting right there, I can't say no. The moment we step into the bathroom, her smile disappears. I know what you're doing, she says, checking every stall to make sure we're alone. Playing the perfect employee. Always so helpful. So desperate for scraps of his attention. Stop, I say, but my voice is small. You're just like your mother, she continues, her words like knives. Always in the way. Always trying to hold on to things that don't belong to you. Something inside me breaks. Don't you dare talk about my mother, I say. My hands are shaking. My mother was a good woman. Your mother was a gold digger, Minji hisses. She trapped my father with her money, and when she realized she'd married a man who loved my mother instead. She stops, tilting her head. Well, you know what happened to her, don't you? She's implying my mother killed herself. Because of my father. Because of Minji's mother. I can't breathe. You know what's really funny? Minji steps closer, her eyes cold and cruel. Kyle tells me everything. About your little contract. About how pathetic you are, signing whatever he puts in front of you just to be near him. He actually laughs about it, Ifeoma. He laughs about you. That's the moment something inside me snaps. My hand flies up before I can stop it. The slap echoes in the empty bathroom like a gunshot. Minji's head snaps to the side. For 1 second, there's absolute silence. Then she smiles. Minji grabs her own arm and squeezes hard, leaving red marks on her skin. She messes up her hair. Tears well up in her eyes. Real tears, I realize, because she's practiced this before. Help, she screams. Someone help me. The bathroom door flies open. Junho is standing there, and his face is dark with something I've never seen before. Anger. Protection. But not for me. Kyle. Minji runs to him, sobbing. She buries her face in his chest. I don't know what happened. I was just trying to be friendly, and she just attacked me. She's lying, I say. My voice sounds small and desperate. Junho, she was talking about my mother, I saw enough. He cuts me off. His voice is ice cold. Taylor, are you okay? He's calling her by a different name. A nickname. Something intimate. Minji touches her cheek where I slapped her, looking up at him with those perfect, deceiving eyes. I just wanted to talk to her. To try and be friends. I know our past is complicated, but she's playing the victim so perfectly that even I'm starting to doubt myself. Apologizze, Mia, Junho sings. Not asks. Commands. I look at him. Really look at him. And I realize something that shatters me completely. He believes her. No. I whisper. I won't apologize. Junho tigrhatens. You're suspended. Effective immediately. Linda will handle your work. He doesn't even wait for my response. He just turns back to Minji, pulling her closer, whispering something in her ear that makes her smile. I'm invisible again. I walk out of that office without another word. My legs are moving, but I'm not really here. I'm floating somewhere above myself, watching the moment my life falls apart. And the worst part? I still can't tell him about the twins. Because now I know the truth. He would take them from me, just like he took everything else. Has anyone ever made you feel so small that you forgot you even existed? Drop a comment and tell me your story. I'm reading every single one. Because what happens next is going to make you angry. It's going to make you heartbroken. But most importantly, it's going to make you realize something about yourself. Ifeoma is about to do something that no one sees coming. Something that will change the entire game. The woman who played victim? She's about to meet a version of Ifeoma she never expected. Subscribe now and turn on notifications. Do not miss the moment Ifeoma stops being invisible. This is the episode where she reclaims her power, and it's brutal. What does she do when she gets home? How does she survive this? Stay with us. The clock says 11:47 p.m. I'm sitting in the dark living room of the Hanam penthouse, staring at the city lights of Seoul below. The apartment is so quiet I can hear my own breathing. I haven't turned on any lights. I haven't eaten. I've just been waiting. Waiting for Junho to come home. Waiting for him to tell me what's going to happen next. Waiting for my life to make sense again. He didn't come home last night. Or the night before. I know exactly where he is. I saw the Instagram post at 9 p.m. Minji smiling at some fancy restaurant, her hand on his arm. The caption was just a heart emoji. That's all she needed. I screenshot it. Then I deleted it. Then I opened my photos and looked at the ultrasound picture of our twins. 2 babies. 2 lives. And their father is somewhere else, playing house with the woman who destroyed mine. The silence in this apartment is suffocating. I've checked my phone 247 times. No messages from Junho. No calls. Nothing. But there are plenty of notifications from social media. Minji posted a video of them at a nightclub. Junho's hand on her waist. His smile. That smile. The one he's never given me. There's a comment under the photo. Power couple goals. I almost threw my phone across the room. Instead, I just sit there, watching people I don't know celebrate a love story that isn't real. Meanwhile, alone in a glass penthouse that feels more like a prison. The contract said no pregnancies. No emotions. No complexities. I broke those rules. And now I'm being punished for it. I think about calling him. But what would I say? Hi, I'm carrying your twins and you're out with my stepsister. No. He already made his choice. That's clear. I scroll through his Instagram photos from before we got married. Him and Minji everywhere. At parties. At the beach. At his company office, sitting together, looking like the power couple everyone said they were. Everyone knew except me. Or maybe I knew. Maybe I just didn't want to see it. I'm lying in bed, our bed, though he hasn't been in it in 3 days, when my phone buzzes. It's a message from an old number I haven't seen in years. Amma. My college roommate. The one person who knew me before all of this. Hey. It's been forever. How are you? I'm starting something new in Seoul, and I immediately thought of you. Coffee tomorrow? Hongdae District? I have an opportunity one want to talk to you about. I read it 3 times. An opportunity. In Hongdae. Away from here. Away from the penthouse. Away from Junho and Minji and the contract that's destroying me. I stare at her message for what feels like hours. My thumbs hover over the keyboard. I don't know what to say. I don't know if I'm allowed to say yes. I don't know if I have the right to want something for myself. Then I think about the twins. What kind of example am I setting for them if I just sit here and wait for a man who doesn't love me? What kind of mother will I be if I teach them that love means disappearing? My fingers move before my brain catches up. Yes. Please. I need this. I hit send. And for the first time in 3 days, I can breathe. Something shifts inside me in that moment. I'm not his contract wife anymore. I'm not waiting for him to come home. I'm not competing with Minji for scraps of attention. I'm Amma. I'm a woman carrying twins. I'm a woman with a Nigerian mother and a Korean father, and a whole identity that has nothing to do with KH Enterprises or Junho, or any of this. I stand up and turn on the lights. The penthouse suddenly doesn't feel like a home anymore. It feels like a cage I've been living in, waiting for someone to open the door. But I can open it myself. I look at myself in the mirror for the first time in days. I look tired, broken, but underneath all that, there's something else. Something that looks like strength. I touch my stomach where the twins are growing. I'm sorry, I whisper to them. I'm sorry I almost gave up before I even started fighting. But I'm here now. And I'm going to show you what it looks like when a woman chooses herself. My phone buzzes again. It's Amma. Tomorrow at 2 p.m.? There's this amazing cafe in Hongdae. Can't wait to catch up. And Amma? Whatever you're going through, it's going to get better. I can feel it. I look at the message. Then I look at the ultrasound picture one more time. For the first time since finding out I was pregnant, I smile. The Junho I thought I loved? He was never real. But the woman I'm about to become? She's about to be everything. If you've ever stayed somewhere you didn't belong because you were afraid of being alone, this moment is for you. Comment below and tell me. When did you realize you were worth more than you were settling for? Because Amma is about to walk into that coffee shop and discover something that will change her entire life. Not just a job. A purpose. An identity. A reason to believe in herself again. But here's what's coming. When Junho finds out what she's doing, he's going to panic. Because he's about to lose control. And men like him don't know how to handle women who don't need them anymore. The Hongdae coffee shop is where Amma's real story begins. The place where she stops being invisible. Subscribe right now and hit that notification bell, because the next episode is where everything explodes. When Junho sees her thriving without him, he's going to realize exactly what he threw away. And by then, it might be too late. What happens at that coffee shop meeting? What opportunity changes everything? Find out in the next episode. I'm 15 minutes early. The cafe is tucked into a corner of Hongdae, surrounded by street art and young people who look like they actually belong to themselves. The energy here is different from anywhere else in Seoul. It feels free. It feels real. I'm sitting at a small table with a coffee I'm too nervous to drink when I see her. Amma. She looks exactly the same but somehow different. Older. Wiser. Like she's lived a whole life I missed. She sees me and her face lights up. Amma. She pulls me into a hug, and for the first time in years, I feel like someone actually wants to hold me. Not because of what I can do for them. Just because. Hi, I say, and my voice cracks a little. She pulls back, studying my face. What's wrong? Are you okay? I wasn't planning to tell her. Not right now. But something about the way she's looking at me, like I actually matter, makes the words pour out. I'm pregnant, I whisper. With twins. Amma's eyes go wide. Then soft. Oh baby, she says. And she pulls me into another hug. That's huge. It's the first time anyone has said it like it's a good thing. After coffee, Amma takes me to the African Diaspora Center. And I stop walking. The building is this beautiful blend of everything. Modern Korean architecture mixed with African art installations. There are paintings on the walls that look like home. Not my home, but a home. A place that celebrates the things I've been hiding my whole life. Come on, Amma says, taking my hand. I want to show you inside. The moment I step through the doors, I feel something shift in my chest. There are people here. Black people. Korean people. People who are both. People who are neither. There are art exhibits celebrating African culture. Afro-Korean music playing softly. Books about diaspora and identity and belonging. Everything I've been searching for my whole life is right here. This is incredible, I say. This is you, Amma says. This is what I see when I look at you. We walk through the center, and Amma tells me about her vision. She's created this space for people like us. People caught between two worlds, trying to figure out where we belong. She's been running it for 6 months, and it's already become a sanctuary for the Afro-Korean community. I need a creative director, she says, stopping in front of a blank wall. Someone who understands what this space means. Someone who can help us tell our stories. I look at the wall, then at Amma. You want me? I've always wanted you, she says simply. Since college. You were the most creative person I knew. But you were always so small, like you were trying to take up less space. I watched you disappear, Ifioma. And I swore if I ever got the chance, I'd help you come back. We sit in Amma's office, a small room decorated with African textiles and Korean ceramics. The position is creative director, she says, pulling out a contract. An actual contract. But this one doesn't feel like a prison. It feels like a key. You'd oversee all our programming. Art exhibits. Cultural events. Community workshops. Whatever you want to create, we'll create it together. How much does it pay? I ask, and the moment the words come out I feel guilty. But Amma doesn't flinch. Enough to support you and your babies, she says. Enough so you never have to depend on anyone who doesn't deserve you. I look at the salary number. It's less than what Junho was giving me, but it's enough. More than enough. It's freedom. There's one more thing, Amma says, sliding the contract across the desk. Read Clause 5. I read it. The creative director has full autonomy to pursue all creative projects that celebrate African Korean heritage and identity. No restrictions. No limitations. Only possibilities. I look up at Amma with tears in my eyes. That's the opposite of every contract I've ever signed, I say. I know, she says. That's why I wrote it that way. 3 days later, I'm walking into the African Diaspora Center as their new creative director. I'm wearing a dress my mother bought me years ago. Traditional Nigerian fabric that I've been hiding in my closet. The moment I put it on, I felt something wake up inside me. The team greets me warmly. A mix of people who look like me in different ways. Who understand what it means to be multiple things at once. One woman, older, with gray locks, pulls me aside. Welcome home, she says. And I realize she's not talking about the building. For the first time since my mother died, I feel like I belong somewhere. But Junho doesn't know yet. And when he finds out what I'm doing, where I'm going, who I'm becoming, everything is going to change. Because I'm not just taking a job. I'm taking back my life. If you've ever felt like you had to disappear to be loved, this episode is a love letter to you. Comment right now. What part of yourself did you hide because you thought it would make you more lovable? Because Ifioma just signed a contract that says she gets to be all of herself. And that's about to terrify the men who benefited from her smallness. Watch as Junho realizes his invisible wife is becoming visible. Watch as Minji panics because Ifeoma is building a life they can't control. Watch as Ifeoma discovers that her greatest power was never in being less. It was in being more. This is the moment everything changes. The moment Ifeoma stops apologizing for taking up space. Subscribe now and don't miss what happens when Junho walks into that cultural center looking for the woman he took for granted. Because he's about to meet someone new. Someone he doesn't recognize. Someone who doesn't need him anymore. What happens when they come face to face again? How does Junho react when he sees her thriving? Stay tuned for the confrontation that changes everything. Linda walks in with the letter in her hand. She's resigned, Linda says quietly. She's been his assistant for 5 years. She knows what this means. She knows what he doesn't. Junho looks up from his desk. His face goes blank. What? Ifeoma. She turned in her resignation this morning. Effective immediately. For a moment, Junho doesn't move, doesn't speak, just stares at the resignation letter like it's written in a language he doesn't understand. That's not possible, he says finally. She has a contract. She did, Linda says carefully. She terminated it. He stands up so fast his chair rolls backward. He's pacing now, running his hand through his hair. This isn't supposed to happen. His wife, contract wife, doesn't just leave. She doesn't have anywhere to go. She doesn't have anyone. Did she say where she's going? He demands. Linda hesitates. The African Diaspora Center. In Hongdae. The name means nothing to him. Which somehow makes it worse. Find out everything about this place, he says. Now. It doesn't take long to find information. The African Diaspora Center is a small cultural organization founded by someone named Amma Park. They celebrate African Korean heritage. They host art exhibits. They tell stories. Ifeoma's there. The thought arrives like a punch to his gut. His invisible wife. The one he never looked at twice. The one who signed whatever he put in front of her. She's gone. And she didn't ask permission. He pulls up the center's Instagram page. There are photos from their opening week. And there, in the middle of the frame, is Ifeoma. But not the Ifeoma he knows. This Ifeoma is glowing. She's wearing bright colors. She's surrounded by people who are looking at her like she matters. Like she's important. She's smiling. He's never seen her smile like that. His phone buzzes. A text from Minji. Are you coming tonight? I miss you. He stares at the message. Then at the photo of Ifeoma. And something shifts in his chest. Something uncomfortable. He's made a terrible mistake. He shows up without warning. The African Diaspora Center is nothing like Cage Enterprises. It's warm. Alive. Full of people talking and creating, and belonging to something bigger than themselves. Ifeoma is in the main gallery, discussing an art installation with a group of visitors. She doesn't see him at first. She's too focused on what she's explaining. Something about Nigerian textile patterns and Korean embroidery coming together. The beauty is in the blend, she's saying. When you stop seeing them as separate, you see the magic. She's talking about herself without knowing it. When she finally sees him, her whole body goes still. Junho. His name sounds different when she says it now. Careful. Guarded. Can we talk? He asks. They move to a quiet corner of the center. Away from the people. Away from the life she's building. You left, he says. It's not a question. Yes. You resigned. From the company. Without telling me. I didn't think you'd notice, she says quietly. You haven't been home in 4 days. The accuracy of that stings. I'm your husband, Ifeoma. You need my permission to. No, she cuts him off. Her voice is calm but firm. I don't. Not anymore. He takes a breath. Why did you really come here? Ifeoma looks directly at him. And in that moment he sees it. All the pain he caused. All the times he looked through her instead of at her. All the nights he came home to her, but spent his time with someone else. I'm having your twins, Junho, she says. And I'm keeping them. The words hit him like a physical blow. What? The pregnancy. It's real. 8 weeks along. Twins. His world stops rotating. That was against our agreement, he says, but his voice sounds hollow. He doesn't even believe the words anymore. I don't care about the agreement, Ifeoma says. I care about my babies. I care about myself. And I realized I can't do either of those things with you. Ifeoma, I have a job now. A good job. A life. A community that actually sees me. Her eyes are glistening, but she's not crying. She's just stating facts. I don't need your permission. I don't need your money. I don't need you. The silence that follows is deafening. And Junho realizes, in that moment, that he spent so much time chasing Minji that he let go of the one woman who actually chose him, until she learned to choose herself instead. Junho stands there, watching the woman he married, but never really saw, walk away. And he finally understands what he's lost. How many of you watched your man chase someone else while there was a real woman right in front of him? Drop your story in the comments. I'm reading them all. Because this is the moment everything changes. This is the moment Junho realizes he can't control Ifeoma anymore. And men like him don't know how to handle women who've learned to walk away. But here's what Junho doesn't know yet. His panic is just the beginning. Minji's hold over him is about to tighten. And when she finds out that Ifeoma is pregnant with his twins, she's going to do something so cruel, so calculated, that it will push Ifeoma to the edge. Ifeoma told him the truth. She stood in her power. She chose herself and her babies. But now she's about to face the real consequence of leaving. And it's going to get darker before it gets better. Subscribe now and hit that bell. Next episode is called Minji's Dangerous Game. And trust me, you will not be ready for what she does. The woman you thought was just a mean stepsister? She's about to show her true colors. And Junho can't stop her. What does Minji do when she finds out? How far will she go to keep Ifeoma away from Junho? The answer will shock you. She knew it was coming. The moment Ifeoma disappeared from Cage Enterprises, Minji knew she was losing her grip on Junho. Men like him don't stay with women they can control. They only stay with women they think they might lose. So Minji makes a call. She invites Junho to her luxury apartment in Gangnam. The one his money helped her buy. The one where he spent more nights than he'll admit. When he arrives, she's ready. She has her phone out. Screenshots of financial documents. Fake evidence. Enough lies wrapped in truth to make him doubt everything Ifeoma told him. The cultural center is a fraud, she says, sliding her phone across the table. I had my lawyers look into it. The organization is laundering money. And your wife, she's involved. Junho stares at the documents. His face goes pale. Ifeoma would never, he starts. Ifeoma would do anything, Minji interrupts. She's desperate. She's pregnant. She's trying to hide it with some cultural center nonsense. But the truth? She's stealing from you. It's a lie. A calculated, perfect lie. And Junho wants to believe it because it gives him an excuse to go back to Minji. To choose the familiar. To choose control. He's been drinking for an hour. Minji sits next to him at the rooftop bar, her hand on his arm, telling him everything he doesn't want to hear but somehow does. I'm only telling you this because I care, she says softly. I've always cared. Even when you married her. He looks at Minji. Really looks at her. And for a moment, he sees what he's been chasing. Not love. Just the comfortable lie of familiar betrayal. But then his phone buzzes. A text from Ifeoma. Junho, I know what Minji is doing. We need to talk. His stomach drops. I found the evidence by accident. Amma and I were going through the center's financial records when I noticed something odd. Someone had been digging into our accounts. Someone with access to high-level corporate resources. Minji. I called a friend who works in cybersecurity. Within an hour he confirmed it. She'd planted fake documents. In our system. Fabricated records. Created a false paper trail that makes our center look corrupt. She's trying to destroy Amma's life's work. My hands are shaking when I call Junho. But before he can even say hello, I'm speaking. I know what she's doing, I say. Minji is lying to you. She's planting false evidence. She's trying to destroy the cultural center. She's trying to destroy me. There's silence on the other end. Junho, are you there? I'm here, he says quietly. But his voice sounds hollow. Like part of him already knew. Like part of him was hoping I'd say it wasn't true. I don't wait for him to respond. I get in a taxi to Minji's apartment. I don't have a plan. I just have rage and clarity and the knowledge that this woman has been playing games with my life since I was 15 years old. I show up at her door without knocking. When she opens it, she's not surprised. She's been expecting this. Hello, Ifioma, she says coolly. You're lying to Junho, I say. My voice is steady. You're planting false evidence. You're trying to destroy everything I've built. Minji walks past me to the window, looking out at Seoul's skyline like she doesn't have a care in the world. I'm giving you a choice, she says calmly. Leave Seoul. Take your babies and go back to Nigeria or wherever. Disappear. And maybe I'll let him live in peace. Istirahat. This woman who became my stepsister, who made my teenage years hell, who spent the last 3 years poisoning Junho against me. No, I say simply. Excuse me. No. Irapa. I'm not leaving. I'm not running. I'm not letting you win. Minji turns to face me, and for the first time, I see something crack in her perfect facade. Fear. You don't know what I'm capable of, she says. Yes, I do, I say. I've known since high school, and I survived you then. I'll survive you now. He's been listening. When Ifioma called, he heard her voice. Clear. Certain. Not the voice of someone who's lying. And when he looks at Minji sitting next to him, he sees it. Finally sees it. The manipulation. The lies. The woman who's been controlling him with fear and false promises. He stands up. It's over, he tells Minji. And he leaves. Minji doesn't panic. Not yet. But she makes a phone call. To someone. And whatever she says, whatever she does next, it's going to be more dangerous than anything that came before. Because trapped animals are the most dangerous. And Ifioma just cornered her. If you've ever stood up to someone who had power over you, drop a comment and tell me about it. Because Ifioma didn't back down. She didn't run. She looked fear in the face and said no. That's courage. That's power. That's what it looks like when a woman stops asking permission and starts demanding respect. But Minji isn't finished. She's made a phone call to someone we haven't met yet. Someone from Junho's past. Someone with secrets that could destroy them all. Junho finally saw Minji for who she really is. But that realization? It comes too late to stop what's already in motion. Subscribe right now because the next episode is going to shatter everything. The person Minji calls? They're about to bring information that will make Ifioma question everything she thought she knew. About Junho. About Minji. About her own mother. What secret is Minji about to reveal? Who does she call? How far will she go to keep Ifioma away from Junho? The answer is darker than you think. Don't miss what happens next. This is where the real truth comes out. I'm running. Not because I'm weak, but because I'm smart. Minji made that phone call. Whatever she said, whoever she called, it's coming for me. And I won't let it touch my babies. The train rocks gently as it moves away from Seoul. I watch the city disappear through the window, and for the first time in days I can breathe. Amma knows where I am. Junho has my number. But nobody else does. And that's exactly what I need right now. My hands rest on my growing belly. The twins are moving more now. Little kicks. Little reminders that I'm not alone. Even when I'm running. The train takes me south. Away from the noise. Away from the lies. Away from people who want to control what I create. Towards something I don't even know yet. The village finds me before I find it. A woman at the ferry terminal sees me walking slowly, tired, pregnant, lost. She approaches me like she already knows my story. You're looking for something, she says in English mixed with Korean. Her accent is unfamiliar. African. I'm just looking for peace, I say. She smiles. Come. I'm Ikaye. And you look like you belong with us. Jeju Island has a different energy than Seoul. The streets are wider. The air smells like salt and earth instead of exhaust. And the people, they look like me in ways I've never seen before. Black people. Korean people. People who are both. People who have chosen to build a life in this space between worlds instead of dying trying to pick one. Aka's home is filled with light. African masks on the walls. Korean ceramics on the shelves. Plants everywhere. It's a living representation of everything I've been searching for. I came here 40 years ago, Ike tells me, making tea from ginger and honey. She's in her 70s, with gray locks and eyes that have seen everything. From Lagos. I came to study. I met a Korean man. We built a life together. Was it hard? I ask. It was impossible, she says. But we did it anyway. Because love doesn't ask permission. And neither should you. Something in those words reaches deep into my chest and squeezes. Over the next few days, I meet the community. There's Kwame, a Ghanaian Korean man who runs a restaurant. There's Ji-won, a Korean woman married to a man from Senegal. There's a youth group that celebrates African heritage with Korean pride. They're all versions of me. All people who chose themselves. Dr. Park at the community clinic treats me like I matter. Your blood pressure is good, she says, checking my vitals. She's Korean, but she moves with the warmth of someone who understands what it means to build a life outside the boundaries. The babies are strong. You're carrying them well. For the first time, I don't feel shame about this pregnancy. I feel pride. That night, I participate in a ceremony I've never seen before. Women from the community gather, singing songs that blend African rhythms with Korean melodies. They place their hands on my belly and pray. Not in English. Not in Korean. Just in the language of mothers protecting mothers. I cry. For the first time since finding out about the twins, I cry from happiness instead of fear. Junho's letters arrive every few days. I stack them unopened on Aka's kitchen table. I'm not ready to read them. Not yet. One evening, Ika sits down across from me with tea. Why don't you open them? She asks gently. Because I'm afraid, I admit. I'm afraid he'll say something that makes me want to go back. And I can't go back. Ika nods like she understands. Because she does. Love is not about going back, she says. Real love is about becoming who you need to be. And letting the other person become who they need to be. Sometimes those paths cross again. Sometimes they don't. I look at the letters. His handwriting. The man I love trying to reach me. But I'm not running from him anymore. I'm running toward something. 3 weeks into my time in Jeju, I wake up and realize something. I'm not scared anymore. I am carrying twins. I'm alone. I'm far from everything familiar. And I'm not scared. I'm excited. I'm excited to meet my babies. To show them this place. To teach them about the village where their mother learned to love herself. I finally open one of Junho's letters. It says, I'm sorry. I'm trying to become the man you deserve. But I understand if I'm too late. I fold it carefully and put it back in the envelope. He's right. He might be too late. But maybe, just maybe, it's not about being too late. Maybe it's about whether he's willing to change while I figure out who I'm becoming. EKA brings me a visitor one morning. A woman I haven't seen in 18 years. My mother. If you've ever needed to run away to find yourself, drop a comment and tell me your story. Because Ifeoma didn't just escape. She found a whole community of people who look like her, who understand her, who celebrate her. Jeju Island isn't just a place. It's a mirror. It's showing Ifeoma who she's always been. And now? Now she's about to meet the one person who can confirm it. Your mother shapes your whole world. She shapes how you love, how you see yourself, how you think you deserve to be treated. And Ifeoma's mother? She's been alive this whole time. She's been looking for her daughter. And Minji knew. Minji has always known. The phone call Minji made? She called Ifeoma's mother. And instead of destroying Ifeoma, she just brought her home. Subscribe now because the reunion scene in the next episode is going to break you into 1,000 pieces. When Ifeoma sees her mother for the first time in 18 years, pregnant with twins, standing in a village that celebrates who she is, everything changes. Her mother has a story to tell. A truth that will explain Minji's cruelty. A truth about love and sacrifice and what mothers do to protect their children. Don't miss the moment Ifeoma realizes why her mother left. The answer will reshape your entire understanding of this story. He's been digging for a week. Private investigators, lawyers, every resource KH Enterprises has. And the truth is ugly. Minji's blackmail extends back years. Photos, videos, financial crimes. She's been controlling him with threats of exposure, knowing he'd do anything to protect his reputation. And the worst part? It was all calculated. From the beginning. Junho sits in his lawyer's office, staring at the evidence. All of it. Years of manipulation. And the realization hits him like a brick. He chose a lie over the woman who was always honest. He calls the authorities himself. No hesitation. No protection of his image. Just the truth. Minji's apartment. One last time. You're going to go to prison, Junho says. His voice is steady, clear, free. Minji Logus actually laughs. You think you're better than me? You think choosing that poor girl makes you noble? You'll always be the man who needed me, who wanted me, who came running every single time. No, Junho says. I was weak, and you exploited that. But I'm done. You're done. For the first time, Minji's perfect face cracks. Fear. Real fear. By the time he leaves, the police are already on their way. The train to Jeju takes hours. Junho rehearses what he'll say 1,000 times. None of it sounds right. How do you apologize for missing someone's entire transformation? How do you say sorry for choosing wrong? He just practices. I'm here. I'm sorry. I'm ready. Over and over. Until the words blur together. Ifeoma wakes up at 3 a.m. with pain. Real pain. The kind that means the twins are coming. EKA is there immediately, holding her hand, whispering words in Yoruba and Korean. Her mother is on the other side, crying happy tears. You're so strong, her mother keeps saying. So strong, my baby girl. The hospital in Jeju is small but warm. The nurses move with purpose. This is sacred work. Birth. Life. Beginning. Hours pass in a blur of contractions and breathing and screaming and pushing. And then, it's a boy, the doctor announces. Ifeoma cries. Real tears. A son. She has a son. 5 minutes later. And a girl. A daughter. She has a daughter. The babies are placed on her chest. And Ifeoma has never felt anything like this. This overwhelming, crushing, beautiful love. This is what she was fighting for. These two small humans. This legacy. He walks into the hospital room and stops. Ifeoma is there. Exhausted. Radiant. Holding two babies. And his entire world shifts. She looks up at him, and for a moment, nobody speaks. I named them, she says quietly. Amara and Junmin. The boy has your eyes. The girl has my mother's smile. Junho steps closer. He's crying now, and he doesn't care. I'm sorry, he says. For all of it. For not seeing you. For not choosing you. For being so blind. Ifeoma watches him carefully. What changed? Everything, he says. I'm going to prison for a while, actually. For covering up Minji's crimes instead of reporting them immediately. But I deserve that. I need that. To understand what real consequences look like. Ifeoma nods. She believes him. Can I hold them, he asks. She places Amara first in his arms. The baby girl opens her eyes and looks at him like she's taking his measure. Len Yunmin. His son. Small and perfect and real. Junho breaks down. All the tears he should have cried years ago. All the regret. All the clarity. I don't deserve a second chance, he says. No. EKA says from the corner, where she's been watching. You don't. But redemption isn't about deserving. It's about becoming worthy. Your children will teach you if you're willing to learn. She places her hand on his shoulder. A blessing and a warning. The news arrives the next morning. Minji arrested for blackmail, fraud and cybercrimes. The evidence is damning. She's going away for a long time. Ifeoma reads about it and feels nothing. No joy. No anger. Just relief. That chapter is closed. Now she has to figure out if Junho can write a new one with her. Junho spends the next week in the hospital. He helps change diapers. He learns how to hold a baby without panicking. He listens to stories from Ifeoma's mother about why she left, about sacrifice, about love that looks like absence. And Ifeoma watches him become someone new. But becoming worthy isn't a one-time thing. It's a daily choice. If your man has ever done something that broke you, and then actually changed, drop a comment and tell me about it. Because redemption is real. But so is accountability. Junho went to prison. He faced consequences. He stood in his truth. And he came back different. But the real question is, can Ifeoma trust him again? Should she? Because love doesn't mean forgetting. Love means choosing to build something new with someone who's willing to change. But here's what nobody saw coming. Ifeoma's mother has a secret. Something she's been hiding about Minji. Something that will change how Ifeoma sees her stepsister. And something that might be the key to healing the deepest wounds. Subscribe now because the final episode is about to answer the question that's haunted this entire story. Why did Ifeoma's mother really leave? What is the connection between her and Minji? And what does forgiveness actually look like? The truth about Minji isn't what you think. And when it comes out, you're going to understand her, and Ifeoma, in a completely new way. Don't miss the finale. It will break you, and then put you back together. 6 months. That's how long it's taken to rebuild a life. To go from contract wife to beloved partner. To go from invisible to seen. The African Diaspora Center's first major heritage exhibition opens today. I spent 3 months curating it. 3 months of storytelling. Of celebration. Of showing the world what it means to be Afro-Korean. The walls are covered in art. Photography. Textile installations. Stories from community members about their journeys. About belonging. About building bridges between worlds instead of choosing sides. And Junho is here. He walks through the gallery with genuine interest, stopping at each piece, reading every story. Not because he has to. Because he wants to. Because he finally understands that my world matters. That my work matters. That I matter. When he looks at me across the room, he smiles. And it's real. No performance. No obligación. Just love. The twins are playing in the children's corner with other kids from the community. Amma is showing a Korean girl her toy lion. Junmin is laughing with an African boy twice his size who's being gentle with him. They look like home. They look like the future I'm building. A woman from the community approaches me. You did this, she says, gesturing to everything. You created a space where our children can be all of themselves. I think about the little girl I was. The one who felt erased in her own home. The one who had to choose between her Nigerian mother and her Korean father. And I'm giving my children what I never had, permission to be both. That night, at our new home in a neighborhood filled with diverse families, I tell Junho, I'm pregnant, I say. We're sitting on the floor with Amma and Junmin asleep in our arms. The apartment is small and warm and ours. Not a penthouse. Not a contract. Just a home. Junho's eyes go wide. Really? This time by choice, I say. This time with you choosing me too. If you want to. He hands me Amma gently and pulls me close. I choose you every single day, he says. For the rest of my life. And I believe him. Not because he promised. But because he's shown me. Through 6 months of different choices. Through being present. Through supporting my work. Through learning that love is not about control. It's about celebration. That week, I video call EKA. When her face appears on screen, she's glowing. My mother is with her in Jeju, and they're both smiling. I'm pregnant again, I tell them. And this time, I'm keeping the man. EKA laughs. A real deep belly laugh. Good girl. That's how you know he's worthy. When you can build with him instead of despite him. My mother reaches toward the camera. I'm so proud of you, baby. Look at you. Building a life. Celebrating who you are. Teaching your children to do the same. I learned from you, I say to her. From leaving. From choosing yourself. From coming back when I was ready. She cries happy tears. And so do I. The final scene is simple. I'm in the education room of the African Diaspora Center, teaching a class of young Afro-Korean children about their heritage. I'm showing them Nigerian textiles, Korean embroidery, how to weave them together. You don't have to choose, I tell them. You get to be everything. You get to take the beauty from both sides and create something completely new, something that's only yours. A girl raises her hand. Are you both? Nigerian and Korean. Yes, I say. And I spent so long thinking that was a problem. But it's not. It's a superpower. Through the window, Junho watches. He's holding Junmin, who's pointing at his mother and saying words he's just learning. Amara is in his other arm, sucking her thumb, completely at peace. Junho's face is soft. Not the face of a CEO. Not the face of a man chasing power. Just the face of a man watching the woman he loves teach the world how to celebrate itself. And finally he understands. Love is not about ownership. Love is about witnessing someone become who they're meant to be, and choosing to stand beside them while they do it. I touch my growing belly, feeling the new life inside me. This baby will be born into a different world than the twins were. A world where their mother is seen. Where their father has learned to love beyond control. Where their family celebrates every part of who they are. This is the end of Ifeoma's story. But maybe it's the beginning of yours. If you've ever felt invisible, I want you to know. The right person will see you. Not because you shrink yourself, but because you learn to take up space. And they learn to celebrate it. Ifeoma went from contract wife to creative director to beloved partner to mother to teacher. She didn't do it for a man. She did it for herself. And when she did, everything changed. Thank you for watching her journey. For rooting for her. For believing that redemption and healing are possible. But here's what I want to ask you. What's your Ifeoma moment? When did you choose yourself? When did you realize you deserved more than crumbs? Drop your stories in the comments. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe for more Afro-Korean stories, because our narratives matter. Our lives matter. Our love stories deserve to be told. Because this isn't just about Ifeoma. This is about every woman learning to love herself first. Every woman building a life that honors who she really is. Every woman understanding that belonging starts from within. You are worthy. You are enough. And you deserve someone who sees you. Thank you for being part of Ifeoma's journey. I hope her story changes yours. Ifeoma's story is one of healing, redemption, and the power of choosing yourself. But it's also your story. It's everyone's story who's ever felt caught between worlds. Who's ever loved someone who couldn't love them back. Who's ever had to rebuild from nothing. You are not alone. Your story matters. And your ending is being written right now. Make it a good one. With love.